Hello, hello? Oh, just realized. I'm nowhere near my mic. Hello? Oh. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't think so. Not yet. Hello? Test, test, test. I think that's it. Excellent. Okay. So I think, and then if I switch to this scene, we're still getting my voice through the microphone. Sweet. Okay. A bit of echo. Why are we getting echo? Oh, I think. Is it echoing when it's only when it's on my face? Or deep reverb? Why can't I? Well, let's try that. Echoing when it's. Oh my god, yeah, that's terrible. Face? Or deep reverb. Okay, let's try it over here and see how that does. Echoing when it's. Oh my god, yeah, that's terrible. Face? Or deep reverb. Okay, let's try it over here and see how that does. Oh my god, yeah, that's terrible. Face? Deep. What's causing? Okay, let's try it over here. What is causing that? Okay, let's take a look. So if we go here, oh, let's try that. Hello, testing. Am I getting it? I shouldn't be getting it over here though. Audio input capture, mic. Maybe not. Count off. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Maybe not. Count off. Hello, hello. Yeah, it's still testing, testing. Still really funky. Okay. Maybe that'll fix it. Hello, testing, testing. Oh! I think we got there. Okay, it sounds good on just my face. What about on scene where you can see my screen? I think we got there. Okay, it sounds good on just my face. Okay. What about on scene where you can see my screen? Okay, I think we're good. Excellent. Okay, so this is why I always launch the show early. This show. I don't know if I can say that I have a show, but this is why I always launch early, because stuff keeps happening. Okay. I'm also trying something new. I've got my laptop down over here, and that's where I'm watching chat and stuff like that. So you're all seeing my main monitor, and then but I have the chat and things down below. It's really the tech. Actually, I haven't even set up the little i7 mini PC yet, which is what's running Proxmox. So I'm gonna have to do that now. I've got this bundle of cables. Actually, I'll just switch to my face in the meantime. No point in you just staring at my terminal. Check out that bundle of fun. Wait. It's really dark, but yeah, just bundles of cables and things. My hope for today is that because we got Proxmox installed last stream, we don't have to do any Proxmox stuff. We don't have to do any stuff with the capture card today, because that's a huge pain in the butt. Doing the capture card stuff is just so much extra cable all over my desk. So I'm hoping we can just SSH into it and use the Proxmox GUI for today. In the meantime, I also got to notify folks that I'm live. Cool. Wow. Check this out. So if I go back over here, did you know you can try to get AI to summarize my stream? Look at that. What does it do? I haven't said anything yet. Huh. Weird. All right. Okay, so yeah, we've got. I guess I'll switch back, start summarizing what we've been up to. I'm gonna leave this on my website. I need an updated picture. We have Teams at work, and it can summarize both chat and voice, even identifies who is talking. Yeah, we used to use an app like that at the lab called Otter, and it did a lot of interesting. Like it could summarize a lot of information, including like identifying speakers and stuff. It was fairly useful. Like if you've ever missed a meeting, it's nice to just be able to go back. Okay. Wait. Do I have an existing session? No. Okay. I can just, can I do this? I can. And then can I pop it back? No. Okay. We got to do a little bit of tinkering first. I just realized I've got hotkeys for aerospace, but this monitor appears as a 7th workstation, which I don't have hotkeys for. So we're going to fix that, because it would be really nice to be able to pop things over to one of my virtual desktops on my laptop and then pop them over here later. So we're gonna do that. Okay, let's make sure I'm over here. Yeah, AI's been getting much better at like understanding like non-North American English accents, which is good news for a lot of folks. Okay, so I want this, and we just want to go 7. This is so I can jump around a little bit more easily. And we'll go this, and what is it? Alt-Shift-C. This should work. So now I'm over here, and can I pop it over to 7? Where did it go? I think I just misclicked. No, that didn't do it. Well, maybe a manual config reload. Now, let's pop over. Come on, man. Well, it seems to think we've done it. Okay, we're going to close all these extra Safari tabs. Anyways. No, not phone mirroring. There's too many features. And I lost chat. Studio mode. One second while I work out bugs. chat. There we go. Throw that back over there. Good. All set. Okay, so now we can get back to covering what we did last week. So I'm just going to pull this over to the side and do not aerospace. I'm just going to go back to my brain. Homelab index. So I think, yes, we took notes from last week's stream as to what we were up to. I need an assistant. Yeah, I do. It would be awesome to have somebody to help manage the stream. But what are you going to do? Okay. There we go. How's that? I think that's pretty good. Okay. So what did we do last week? We installed Proxmox on this i7 mini PC I have sitting beside me. And we did a lot of talking with chat. Let's see. And I took some notes as to what settings we did. So we just left all of the settings default because I was messing with subnets and then I couldn't access my thing, and that's no good. We downloaded Debian 13 and tested that out as a virtual machine. And we created a Discord, which has been kind of popping off lately. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I'll probably have to go over this again if folks arrive. But that's fine. We can start poking around a little bit. Let's see if all this still works. Okay. So, is it S10? Yes. Oh, sweet. It remembers. Well, that's not exactly what you want to see. You don't exactly want things to hang infinitely. Whoops. So we're going to give it a ping. Request timeout. Okay. Yeah, it's not plugged in. I don't have it. This is its Ethernet cable, and I can't ping it. Who would have guessed? Okay, now we're plugged in. Let's see. No route to host. Host is down. Okay. Let's just power off and power back on again. See how we do. Wow, it really doesn't like me holding down the power button. It's just not responding to that. So, Okie dokie. All right. So it's booting back up. We'll see how that goes. Just gotta hop back over here. And hopefully now that we're plugged into the switch, we get something. And we do. Excellent. That's the kind of stuff we like to see. And that's also the kind of stuff we like to see. Like that. Let's see if I remember my password. Okay, we do. Sweet. So this strong start. And we had our first VM in here as well. Okay. So let's poke around. Oh, no. I want to boot up this VM. I almost restarted the machine and we haven't done anything yet. So I just want to see if everything that we were up to last week still works. Usually a good thing to start with. Also, did I manage to get this working? Nope. We're bouncing around a lot, I know. Okay, I really want to get that feature working. So we're gonna go back into config and aerospace and see why I can't jump to my 7th workspace. Alt, it's right there. Okay, yeah, wait. So that actually worked for a second. Basically, my goal here is to be able to jump between different workspaces, but the 7th one is this monitor as opposed to the one on my laptop screen. But this move note, look at that. Hold on. I see what's happening. Aerospace is a tiling window manager for Mac OS. So I'm configuring it over here, and as we can see, it's a little bit small. That's horrible. Hold on, gang. We're gonna get there. So if we zoom in, we can see the bug. It's right here. So I have a hotkey Alt-Shift-7, which is supposed to move a node, so any window or something like that, to workspace 7, which is this monitor's workspace. But it's moving it to 6. So that's our problem. But yeah, Aerospace is a tiling window manager for macOS that has basically made macOS usable for me because its windowing experience is pretty bad by default. There are other ones, but Aerospace has been so far the most performant and the least invasive, like the best balance of those from my experience. I've tried out Yabai and Amethyst. Amethyst was the least invasive, but also the least featureful and consistent. Yabai, you had to turn off some like security features on macOS, which I don't feel comfortable doing. So, yeah. We're here with Aerospace. Actually, I can probably bring that up. Now that this works, and I can jump things on and off screen, we've got a little more leeway. Aerospace. I'll show this off a little. Ta-da! Very cool. Can I watch this 91-second demo? I don't think you guys get audio from my machine yet. But that's okay. November 2023. This is old. But yeah, as you can see, it does the usual tiling things, but it also works really well with a mouse, which is pretty sweet. And so that's why I use it. And all that jazz. Okay, 6:06. We're just coming up on time to start actually talking about what we're going to do today. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Oh my god. My ring light is just blasting me with... Look, I don't know. Okay. It's kind of tough to tell how bright ring lights and stuff are, but this... Hold on. This is no light. This is no light. This is it on at 1, and it goes up to 10. Just the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? A little tired, but what are you going to do? Okay, let's sum up the plan for today. For today's stream, what we're up to. It's busy setting up my new laptop. Oh, what's the new laptop? What are you working with? Are you on Mac, Windows, Linux? Okay. So now I can hop over here. What's the plan for today? We're working on Proxmox. So we did all this. So let's say stream 1, Proxmox installation plus VM test. That's what we did last week. For stream 2, we're going to set up 2 VMs. I think probably 2 for Kubernetes head and worker node. I don't know how long this is going to take. I've never done this before. I think I set up Kate's one time, but yeah. Are you on the mini PC for Proxmox? Yes. So hold on one sec. Lenovo ThinkPad L14 Gen 3 Ryzen 5 going with Fedora KDE Plasma. That's a very tasteful choice. I like it. Are you on the mini PC for Proxmox? Yes. So I've got an i7 mini PC. I think it's like a 12th gen running Proxmox, and then I'm streaming from my Mac. Okay. So, what's the plan for today? We're going to grab K3S. There we go. Hello? Whoa. Okay. Using K3S for lightweight Kubernetes at home. And I'm going to drop the link in here. If you have any questions at any point, feel free to ask. This is a very interactive stream because otherwise I'd be bored. So. Oh, did you manage to know how to use P and E cores? Not yet. I haven't. We haven't poked around that far. I'm guessing that it has some sort of intelligent, like, automatic separation or like mapping, but I don't know yet. I guess we'll see if we run into that today, because we're actually setting up probably enough VMs and enough cores that something like that might cause an impact. Okay, so I guess the game plan is set up 2 Debian 13 VMs without I don't know, without GUI, because that won't be necessary. And then we designate 1 head node, 1 worker node. We'll make the head node small, and this one will be beefier. So something like head node might have 2 cores, 2 gig RAM, something like that. And then our worker node, we can give more. I have quite a few cores on this guy, Maybe we'll push it to see if the performance and eCore thing makes a difference. Or if we get some sort of interface or something that's telling us, hey, we actually need to think about that. I don't know how to manage the L1 cache and L2 is per core. Head node like MCP? What is the CPU? What is this CPU? Give me 1 second to find it. When I bought this thing on Amazon a little while ago, so I'll go find exactly what it is, and then we can start poking around to figure out what it does. When did I buy this? Was it this year? I think it might have been at the beginning of this year. Oh, yeah. There it is. I've got this thing. There's a hardware page in PVE. Oh, interesting. Head node like MCP. I'm not familiar. Are we talking about like MCP, like the LLM stuff everyone's talking about, or are we talking about something different? Let's see if we can find this hardware page. I'm guessing that comes in summary. So, there we go. CPUs. So it lists every thread, not just Tron master control program. That makes a lot more sense. Yes, kind of. So basically when you're running Kubernetes, you have these you have basically controllers and you have worker nodes. So the controllers just delegate tasks and the workers actually like run the containers and things like that. So yeah. Okay. So this is kind of cool. It's actually listing each one of the threads. Let me bring up, I'm just going to bring this Amazon page over for the thing so we can take a look at it. So I bought this thing, i7. It's got 14 cores, but when we look at PVE, 14 cores and 20 threads. But when we look at PVE, the Proxmox virtual environment, it lists all 20 threads as possible things to use. So there's 6 P cores with 4.7 gigahertz and 8 P core with 3.5, and E core are not multi-threaded. Okay, so I think we would need to do some learning to figure out what exactly it's doing. Like it looks like it's considering each thread as a core that you can run a VM on, or delegate to, or divvy up for VMs. So that makes the question of like P cores versus E cores even more interesting. Okay, cool. We've got this. Did you remove the enterprise repo? Not yet. I should probably do that. Can I just jump into a shell here? Oh, that's nice. I don't even have to SSH. Okay. I forget where I had to go to do that. I'm gonna guess it's Etsy. Apt sources. Is it under sources? I don't have. Can I do this? Use the GUI for that. Last time I did this, I used the. I was doing everything through SSH, and it was kind of a pain. Okay, so somewhere in here there's updates, repositories. That's way easier than doing it this way. Okay, so it's got Debian Trixie repositories, which makes sense. Debian PVE Enterprise. And so I think I turned this off. So we can just disable? Nice. And then this one. If you're, if you're, how's it going, Plus? If you're not happy with a PE core auto allocation, Proxmox features CPU pinning. Okay, cool. There we go. No subscription. This is awesome. This is way easier. Okay, just because I like to know how things happen under the hood. Is it mad at me about this, or is it just letting me know? Okay, it's not production ready. Cool. Yeah, no problemo. I do want to see what that looks like under the hood. So I'm gonna guess if we go etc apt and then go sources.list and install Vim, so I can do anything at all. Okay. What do we got? This guy. Okay. Enabled false. Interesting. Can I go back? No? I can do this. Debian sources. This is a different format than I'm used to. .sources file. Huh. I guess Proxmox does some interesting stuff. This is not like your usual Debian format for these sources files. They changed in Trixie. Really? After all these years? Well, now I have to take a look at that. Okay. Now I'm really curious. We've got this VM running already, right? And I want to see what that looks like on just like a bare Debian 13. Nope, that's Spotlight. Hold on. I always find navigating virtual machines kind of tricky because I've got so many hotkeys, but then there's hotkeys in the VM. The old .list is still supported, but migrated to the sources format and the .ddir format. Okay, cool. Let's that's just, whoops, not apt-e. This guy. I just want to know. What is it? This? Okay, that'll do. Can we all see this okay? At any point, feel free to just let me know that things are completely illegible and I've failed my job as a streamer and let you all down. That's okay. That's a little better. Okay. So we've got Vim now. Do these at least ship with... Okay. Interesting. cd etc apt vim sources.list. Okay. Huh. Okay, so it looks like thumbs up for refusing to use Nano. Yeah, back in my undergrad, we were forced. It was a cool experience. Hold on. Because it's story time. We were, in our first year, we were all given Raspberry Pis, like the Pi 3, and that was our uniform development environment. So we all installed Debian 10 on a bunch of Raspberry Pis, and I think because of that, a lot of people stuck to Nano. It was just there, and those Raspberry Pis, like, actually no, back then VS Code wasn't really viable, or it didn't exist. So your best options were like Sublime, Atom, or like a heavy IDE, but the IDEs don't really run on a Raspberry Pi, right? So a bunch of us were on Nano, and that's one of the big reasons I decided to learn Vim. Another big reason was because a friend of mine, Nick, I won't drop his full name because I don't know how many people want to. I don't know the etiquette around that, but he got me into Vim, which is fun. Anyways, okay, 1 second. What do we got? So the i7-12700H, 7000H has 24 megabytes of smart cache, which means you probably won't need to manually distribute or manage the L3 cache. The P core have a total of 80 kilobytes, and the E core 64. L2 has 1.25 per core for P core. Okay, cool. I would be surprised if, with the relatively simple stuff we're up to, we're gonna need to dig that deep. But it might be really interesting for some optimization later. Why were we here? A fresh install of Debian 13 stable now creates /etc/apt/sources.list.d. Okay. So did we install this? What? It was last week. Was that pre-August 9th? This would have been, this wouldn't have been the actual full release of Debian 13. That's a really weird thing to drop just before release. At least it feels like it is to me. We installed it when Trixie was testing, right? Yeah, cool. Okay, so then that's actually a really good note. Here, let's just say 4 cores, and we'll give it, how many gigs of, this thing has 32 gigs of RAM. Let's actually write that down. Whoops. So we're going to say hardware specs. So we're back to my documentation process. We've got 14 cores. How many P? There's a number of P cores. We keep bringing this up. 6 P cores. And I guess the rest 8 E cores. 20 threads total, which PVE recognizes as core. We have 32 gigs of, is it LP, is it low power RAM? No, it's just straight up DD. Wow. This thing's a monster. DDR4 RAM. This is an i7-12700H. We have anything else worth noting? Just for now. Oh, Wi-Fi 6E, but we're going to run this thing. We're going to run this thing proper. I'm going to leave it at that for now. I don't know how much else. Come on now. What the heck is happening over here? There we go. Weird rendering. So we've got lots of room to play here. Do these distributions look reasonable? Are we using a one drive setup or multiple drives? We're using one for now. Gotta start somewhere. So yes, we're just using the internal drive on the mini PC. Obviously, it would be way better if we start doing some backups to the NAS, but the NAS needs to be set up before we can start backing up to it. So yeah. Okay. So I think we're going to go with this. What else can we do? And then we just install K3S. We just go through that process. Yeah? That makes sense. And I think I'm just going to do a little bit stream notes. Just going to do a little bit of cleanup here. And we're going to go K3S head node. We do want to save some room for the Home Assistant VM later. And there was another VM we wanted later as well. Yes, so Proxmox VE and all the VMs are using the NVMe. That's correct. We just need to make sure we don't overuse our bandwidth. Okay, good to know. So we have our K3S head node, which is one VM. We have our K3S worker node, which is another VM. We're going to have HAOS. What else are we going to run? I wanted to do Home Assistant. and Jellyfin. And plus you mentioned, yeah, Jellyfin, but also could also be a container. You mentioned that Jellyfin might be easier in a virtual machine. Was that was for access to the GPU, right? It's a little easier to pass it into the VM than into the Kubernetes cluster. So that's still open for discussion, but we'll figure that out later. There's a lot of stuff that we can do kind of flexibly. Okay. So I think at this point, that seems reasonable. We've still got, with this allocation of 2 cores for the head node and 4 cores for the first worker node, that still leaves us with, we're going to want to reserve at least 2 for PvE. Let me know if you would recommend more, which gives us a total used of 18 of 12 or of 20. So there's plenty of room for Home Assistant and Jellyfin. I think we're gonna be just fine. So I'm gonna shut down this test VM we had, and we're gonna create a new one. General. And it's going to be on this one, VM ID. Do these have to be numbers? Yes, they do. Okay. Yeah, for my setup, I had 2 reasons. Transcoding can use the iGPU. Yes, I definitely want transcoding through the Intel GPU, because that's nice. And the JRE hunger for memory is not very controllable. Okay. Yeah, then that sounds like a reasonable VM approach. And what I might do... So the things that will run in the Kubernetes cluster for now, probably going to be like Grafana and things like that. I think. That sounds fun. Okay. So I'm going to put my Kubernetes cluster starting here at 200 for funsies. And we're going to call this K3S head node 1. And then... we're going to need to grab a new version of this. I remember there was a download process that we did last time. So if I go, I think probably to data center. Was it storage? And then here? No, not backup retention. This guy? Replication, cluster, maybe it's over here. Disks, LVM. Nope. Can you encode or decode AV1? No idea. I have not looked into that. No idea. Okay. What am I bopping around for? I'm looking for where in the interface I go to download VMs again, because I forgot where we did that last time. Firewall, directory mappings, backup, storage. Do you plan to put a torrent server? Not at first. So my main use case is I actually have, hold on. Actually, this is kind of fun. I'll be right back and show off. So I've got this like awesome collection that I've been building with my little cousin and my dad, of Blu-ray steelbooks and stuff. These should be put in plastic cases, but they were already dinged up when I bought them because I bought them used, so it's not that big a deal. And like, look at this. Terminator 2 in a steelbook, kind of nice. But basically the game plan is to do everything super properly legally and all that. Like I want to rip my collection, right? And then just make it accessible to myself for backups. So, and then mostly just ripping the Blu-rays, like the 1080p versions, not the 4Ks, because ripping 4K is a massive pain. My HAOS has 1 Skylake core and 6 gigabytes of memory, and it's all in with hacks, a bunch of add-ons, and analyzing 5 grab frames per second for my Zigbee Ambilight. Okay, fantastic. That's awesome. Sweet. Yeah, I always overspec because I hate dealing with... I hate finding out that performance is my issue. I like knowing that it's a skill gap. Okay, cool. Where are we? So we're still just trying to remember where the interface is for going and grabbing an ISO is. Okay, where the heck is that? It's definitely not this. Realms, rules. This is all at the data center level, and I don't think it's there. So I'm going to guess, and it's not in repositories, disks, LVM, directory? All right, we're Googling. PVE download ISO from GUI. Do you plan to auto scrap the DVD/Blu-ray? Like, you just need to put the Blu-ray into the player and you are done. It scrapes it to put it into Jellyfin with metadata and everything. That sounds awesome. I would love to do that once I figure out how to do that. Now that I know that's an option, yes. That sounds sweet. Directly download an ISO. Yes, this is what we're looking to do. Essentially, you just need to change directory to this guy, and then we'll get the... I know that's not necessary. I know there is an option straight up in this. If you happen to discover a parrot on your shoulder later on, Sabnizbd plus and the R stack could come in handy. Yeah. That's something on my mind. Something I'm thinking about. From what I've heard, it's also something I have to be careful about discussing on stream. Because YouTube is not friendly to parrot-wielding seafaring friends. Okay, so we're going here. I assigned to LVs, LV, and then okay. I'm still poking around this. I just watched this little YouTube video as a tutorial. Okay, I know how to do it from my terminal. I want to do it from the GUI. First and second rule of Usenet is same as for Fight Club. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Okay, I'm doing this from the terminal. I give up. We're gonna get. And where is it again? From data centers, storages, /var. This guy? Images? I have no that can't be right. We downloaded Debian last night. Or last week. What's going on here? Template? Is that my issue? Template. There we go. Cool. Now we'll get some stuff. Did you check the SHA-256 of the ISO? We did last time, and we will again this time. Because I don't usually do it, but it's a habit I need to start building. Okay. I'll grab this. Hey, how's it going? Are there any troublemakers? No. None at all. We've got a really friendly stream. I'll make sure to check this. Do we want to do net install? Does it make, how much of a difference does it make? I'll grab this guy. We've got room for things. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to grab this link. And then I think I can just, do I need some specific flags? I always forget. Download the contents of URL to a file named foo. All right, that'll do. We'll get this guy, and that should probably put it here. Oh, you guys can't see. My big fat face is in the way. Oh, that's not at all what we wanted. Boom. There we go. How's it going, Tim? ETA 80 seconds. That's not bad. I love having fast internet. It rocks. I just woke up, just about to go out and take a smoke. Alrighty. What time is it where you're at? I keep moving the wrong thing. I'll move my face. We'll put me down here for now. And I'll pop that over on another screen for now. Sweet. Just past midnight for you then? Oh, both of you. Huh. You guys both night owls? I was when I was younger, but I've sort of forced myself to become a morning person. And it's, I don't know. I think there's a quote about this. I forget what it is, but the general idea is like, I don't know anyone who makes really productive use of the afternoon. Like, you either get your shit done really well in the mornings, or you get it done at night. One of them, but it's never the afternoon. Okay, sweet. Let's see if that works. It didn't. Come on, man. Did I hit the wrong? Oh, I just hit the wrong button. Nope. I didn't reload my config after making changes. Now. Woohoo! Now it works. 12:39. Tomorrow's a national holiday, and I did operations night shifts for decades. Oh, cool. What's the holiday about? Okay, so now we should see this ISO over here as an option, because it's, yep, there it is, Debian 13. Very exciting. And we can go ahead and create a VM. Call it K3S head node 1, K3S head node deb 13.1. That's our naming convention. Boom. And I'll just pop that closed. Oh, no. That's not what I want. Start at boot, whatever. Tags K3S. Ah, there we go. Why is it not letting me? Is it because this is open? Sure, leave page. Create VM. 200. So we're gonna do this again. K3S head node. Let's do. Let's call it that. Doesn't like my name? This is not a valid host name. Is it underscores? Yes. Okay, no underscores. I'm not a night owl. I happen to just sleep the rest of the day after I was awake 2 p.m., but I'm more productive at night. Plus, most of the people I talk with is active during my night hours. Yeah, fair enough. Maria's Ascension, a Catholic holiday. Ah, cool. Okay, so let's go with this guy. Whatever defaults, probably going to be fine for now. For K3S, I'm probably not going to need to allocate a lot of disk size for these, right? Like basically just enough to run Debian. Does that sound right to you guys? This guy, sockets. Total cores, we'll give it 2. Memory, let's take a look at our notes. What did we say we would give it? 2 gigs? That'll do. So let's make some notes about this so we don't forget. So we're calling this one, let's grab the ID as well. This one's going to be 200, host name, jump over here, K3S, deb13, head node 1. Yeah. We're going with mostly defaults. We're going to go CPU, sockets 1, cores 2. And we're going to stick with memory. That'll do. I'm just going to go with defaults, and we'll call it. And then I think we'll just be able to clone this, or maybe we convert this to a template. If we convert this to a template, can I adjust the CPU? I think we can, right? Do I want to do, I forget how templates work. So basically, change anything on the go, and if you're using ext4 resize 2fs, live resizing is no hassle if you need more. That's really good to know. Okay. So for VM templates, well, why don't we just give it a shot? Convert to template. What does that do? Now, does that mean when I create a VM, I can go off of a template? That doesn't seem to be an option. Clone. Linked clone, full clone. Let's take a look at what the difference is between a Proxmox linked clone versus full clone is. Because that sounds useful. Oh, look at the, wait. Blazing. We found the blazingly fast. If this stream was a drinking game, we would do a shot every time it said blazingly fast. Anytime I found software that said blazingly fast, that's what we would do. Template is fully pre-configured operating system image that can be used to deploy KVM virtual machines. Deploying virtual machines from templates is blazingly fast, very comfortable, and if you use linked clones, you can optimize your storage by using base images and thin provisioning. Proxmox VE includes container-based templates since 2008. Templates are pre-configured operating system environments that deploy in a couple of clicks. Okay, so my concern about using a template after doing full configuration, so like let's say we went through and actually it went through the Debian install process. I think a bunch of the networking configuration during the install gets copy-pasted, and so you essentially end up with like 3 versions of conflicting hosts, and I don't want to do that. I think we're also going to avoid linked clones. Linked clone VM requires less disk space, but cannot run without access to the base VM template. A full clone VM is a complete copy and is fully independent to the original VM. Okay. Sysprep on Windows or similar tools or scripts on Linux and just power off the VM. Okay. So that's how they get around it. You basically install Debian and all that jazz, and then you run some sort of script that strips it of like its own identifiable information, and then you would reconfigure it. That sounds like more work than it's worth right now. So we're going to avoid all that. We're going to avoid that. So now we have this. We're not going to use it. We'll just build pretty much the same thing. I guess I'll just delete this. Can I? I just like poking around features. I have no concern about trying to go fast and build this as quickly as possible. So poke things, see what happens, and we'll deal with that later. Okay. I do actually want some of these advanced features because labeling VMs as part of our Kubernetes cluster is actually going to be nice. K3S deb 13. So we're going to do that. We're going to use our Debian 13 guy. We're going defaults. Wow. There's a lot more features in here. CPU affinity. Well, Ray, I think embedded in here is the answer to your question about P cores and E cores. It's definitely one of those. Cool. Yep. We're going to build that up. Man, I could use a snack. I'm hungry. Okay, so we've got this VM here. Come on. And let's just get it ready to go. And then we'll build the next VM. Why are tags under advanced features? I feel like tags are a reasonable, just baseline thing to have. But whatever. Okay. Sure, graphical install. Can we all see that? Not really, right? I'm going to pop that over there and pull this over. Do we have Canada? Nice. We'll go with American English. And I think the install is going to be a little bit quicker than last week when we were trying from the net install. So that'll be nice. Because we went with the DVD ISO. And now we chill, now we wait. Anybody working on any projects lately? K3S deb. Okay. We're going to make the host name in the VM match the host name out here every time so we don't confuse ourselves. And we're going to make every full name for the new user. We're just going to make every user K3S. Why not? Eastern time will do. We are definitely going to use the whole disk here. No reason not to. It's a virtual machine, and we're not going to do anything complicated here. Right, changes to disk. Yes. I'm very excited about all this because I have been promising my girlfriend that we would set up Home Assistant and get smart lights for like months. And after August should get there. Because Home Assistant, I'm gonna dream that K3S is sort of workable by the end of this stream. That would be nice. And if we're there, then that means we can probably move to Home Assistant as a VM next week. Because I had partnered with the CCubed, this thing that I ran some time ago, to do this as like a Kubernetes tutorial set, or a set of Kubernetes tutorial sessions. That hasn't seemed to pan out as much. So I'm free to stream whatever the heck I want, which is much nicer. Choose a Debian blend. What is a Debian blend? Basically, I want standard system utilities and SSH. I want SSH on these nodes because I want to be able to use Ansible to update these machines. After installation, you might even nuke the swap partition and go for a swap file instead. Having no swap at the end makes rootfs resizes a breeze, and the only difference is no easy hibernation, which is not that important on these VMs. That's kind of cool. Okay. I'll take a look at that when we're looking to optimize these things later. Interested in Home Assistant because I did the Frigate thing, and it's really made with support for Home Assistant in mind. Cool. Yeah. The more I'm playing with Proxmox and the more I'm learning, like Plus has given a lot of really good advice on Home Assistant and Jellyfin, and when Kubernetes or any containerized environment is good, and when just like a raw VM is better. And so looking at there are a number of applications that I want to use that are probably better off in a VM, and Proxmox makes it easy to do that. So I'm kind of excited about that. We'll take a look at Home Assistant together. Oh, I got a 4-pack of smart lights, and the Zigbee Home Hub thing is coming tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay. So VM number 1 is ready. Well, mostly. Looks like. Welcome to Grub. Welcome to Grubhub. Okay. So that's all good. I'm going to keep track of what we do to these VMs so that it's reproducible. Where is Ghosty? So we're going to pop this over here, and I'm going to put Proxmox over here for now. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. So we're going to keep the hardware specs. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Head node VM. And we're going to say what we've done to this. Can I zoom in on this? I can't. Sorry, team. That's good. That's just going to look very hard to deal with. But I don't think we'll have to do too much in there. Can I do a little... Is it this? PA? Yes. Okay. So I do have... Can I ping this? Sorry, I'm getting curious, and then I stop speaking reasonably. I just start speaking in half sentences. Basically, what I'm interested in doing is SSHing into this VM from my Mac, just in case that's useful for anything. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to ping it. Sweet. So we can do that. That's nice. And can I SSH into it? Where's my thing? 11142. Oh, I need to do a little... user guy. That should do it. Okay, that's really sweet. Home Assistant has a CC2652 USB device passed through. Install used Zigbee to MQTT, but HA's own ZHA extension is pretty good now. Okay, my Home Assistant has a USB device pass through. Okay, yeah, I haven't played around with pass-through stuff very much. I would not call myself an expert on like actually running hardware that's running VMs. So we're gonna do a lot of live learning on that. Okay, what's our goal here? We have this server running, or this Debian server running. Sweet. I think what we're going to do now is get the next one running. Do we have sudo? No. Get the next one running, the worker node, and then we can start the K3S installation. So, I can actually, from tmux, keep multiple SSH sessions running. That's pretty sweet. So I'll be able to jump between nodes without having to spawn one of these consoles every time I want to access things. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. So I can close down this because we can just SSH into it if we want to. Let's also make a note of its IP, which is, I think, this user. Whoops. That'll be useful. Sweet. Okay, so this guy's running. Let's create another VM. So that was, we're gonna go, I'm gonna keep them separated, keep the IDs separated just a little. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that for the worker node. So K3S deb13 worker node. And we're gonna add K3S. Oh, you know what? Let's also add worker node. It's kind of nice. Why is it? Oh, it's just colors. Okay, cool. And for this, we're gonna go 4. We're definitely going way overkill on how much we're giving these nodes, but I don't really care. And we're going to give this one 8. It's 8096, right? Yeah. No? No. It would be 8192. There we go. It's 4096, 8192. My remote server has got 24 cores and 128 gigs of RAM. You think that's enough for Proxmox? I think, I don't know. Those seem like rookie numbers to me, bro. I think if you're not breaking triple digits on your number of cores, you're not really living. You're missing out. Okay. I'm going to grab these. I have a bad Vim habit of repeat slamming J. And I really need to work on that. Sockets. We're still going with 1 socket, 4 cores. Does anyone know if the number of sockets, if I should split this up? Like something like this? Oh, that gives me... Oh, interesting. So if I do this, I'm guessing, are these multiplied? They are. 2 sockets, 2 cores. I don't know the difference. We're going to go with 1 socket. We're going to go with 4 cores and make a mental note of the fact that we don't know what that does. Come back to it later. Sweet. Worker node, 1 socket, 4 cores. 81992. Can we add another tag too? Yeah. Head node. Sweet. SMT, SMP if possible. I'm not familiar with this. What do we mean? What's SMT versus SMP? Symmetric multiprocessing versus simultaneous multithreading? Is that what that is? SMT is hyperthreading. SMP is multi-socket. Okay. Oh. Okay. Right. I remember hyperthreading from back in the day. Because I remember when like the Core 2 duos and stuff started moving into thread, like, because those came out with physical cores, moving out of the Pentium series, and then hyperthreading came out at some point. So I'm guessing SMT is the threading equivalent, whereas SMP is literal physical cores. Is that something like that? Okay. Anyways, let's get back to Proxmox. Let's launch this guy and see where we're at. Physical sockets. Okay. How does that map into a virtual machine space? So I can allocate it threads, I can allocate it physical cores, but within the VM, it also has like its own perception of physical cores versus threads, right? However, it would be running, even if it's running on a thread or a certain number of cores, it also must believe that it has physical cores and things. I have no idea how that interaction works. I waited too long. Okay. I'm yapping too much. We're going to reboot and hit the console. Since you're using libvirt-QEMU, cores are actually afloat. Really? That's crazy. Cores are afloat. So in libvirt and QEMU, are you more like the allocations are really more like core time or processor time on the like the host machine? Is that why you're able to do things like assign 1.5 cores? Yeah, I had no idea you could do 0.5 cores, at least to the back end. Don't know if Proxmox allows in the front end. That's really cool. That's more like a pool definition. That is cool. Can't lock file. I don't want to go through it like this. All right, I guess we're doing this. Let me move my face out of the way. So over here, I accidentally selected the non-graphical installation process. I mean, it is what it is, but kind of a pain. Hopefully I don't configure it incorrectly. Hostname, K3S, deb13, worker node. Yes. We're just jumping through hoops here. Is anybody working on any projects in the meantime? One guided, use entire disk. I've been playing around with more emulator stuff, which has been really fun. Managed to get, I'm just gonna make my face bigger. Managed to get to mod Mario Kart for the Switch to run at 60 FPS. We're gonna keep these identical for now. I know Plus mentioned the swap file thing. I think that's cool, but I want to know that both of these machines are the same for now, and then we can make the changes later, because I don't want to end up finding out that I need to like make adjustments on one and forget which one was which and all that. Anyways, yeah, been working with emulators, and I managed to get Mario Kart on the Switch to run at 60 FPS when there's more than 2 players. Because apparently on the Switch, the way that it works is it runs at 60 FPS when you're 1 or 2 players. Then once you get to 3 to 4, it's too much to render. And so what they do is they run the whole game engine at 60 frames per second, because of course physics is tied to the game engine. But they split the frames so that they're alternating. So you render players 1 and 2 on frame 1, and then you render players 3 and 4 on frame 2, and you just alternate back and forth, so it's effectively 30 frames per second. Kind of wild, but I modded that, and I'm very happy about it. Runs much smoother now. Okay, default is 1, 2, and 12. I don't want the desktop environment or GNOME. I want, not web server, I want SSH. I want 11 and 12, that's all. Yes, and we will go with grub. Yep. Oh. We'll go with this. Yeah. The non-graphical installation process is really the exact same, so not much to worry about here. Okay, sweet. Ready to reboot. So we've got our worker node, and we've got our head node running. Let's go ahead and do just a quick login. And we can probably shut these down now. I'm going to pop this over here. Yeah. Sweet. And let's, oh, nope, wrong guy. Let's go ahead and make my face small. I didn't check the IP of that. Kind of need that. Let's see. Does it tell me? Does it tell me from the Proxmox GUI? Because that would be real nice. Okay, it was just assigned 43, which is nice. Okay. No IP needed. Okay. So, we know what our 2 machines are looking at now. Let's get down to business. I think I can also do just a quick, that's not what I wanted. I want to do this one. Yeah. So I'm going to keep my notes on the left pane, and we're going to interact with our servers on the right. shrink me down. So, oh, I suppose that's not even necessary. I have them open here. Oh, whatever. Okay, so we have this guy. This is our head node. And we're going to jump over here. Make this a little bigger. And we're going to SSH K3S at 10.88.111.43. Oh, yeah. Just remembering IP addresses. Can't say that about IP6, can we? Okay, so that means we're ready for some K3S stuff. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this. Okay, so let's pop over here to the head node and grab K3S. Okay, the certified Kubernetes distribution built for IoT and edge computing. Let's go ahead and refer to the docs. So if you've never interacted with Kubernetes before, K3S is a much lighter weight version of the full Kubernetes K8s that's usually run in production settings. I don't want to deal with all that, so we're gonna run this guy instead. Basically handles a lot of stuff for you and runs in a much smaller. It's smaller. There you go. That's the whole sentence. Okay, do we have curl? No. So step one is this. So on both the head node and the worker node, we're going to want to do some apt installing. So we're going to apt install curl. And we're also going to log in as root on both machines. And we're going to apt install curl. Yes. Oh, let's install Vim on both these machines as well. I need to find a good place for my face where I'm not blocking things. How's that? That might do for now. It'll do until I clear the screen. The struggle. Apt update, upgrade. Remember to update your machine reboot. Yeah, good point. Let's go ahead and do that. Update. Interesting. Let's do this. All right, let's take a look at what's going on with all this. The repository that release does not have a release file. Updating from such a repository can't be done securely and is therefore disabled by default. What's going on with all this then? I think that's a Google angle. Wait a second. Hold on. So if I go vim/etsy/app sources.list. Oh yeah, look at that. It's still trying to source things from the CD. And apt vim sources.list.d. There's nothing. Why is that the only source at the moment? Shut down and remove the ISO source from the VM. Okay, let's give that a shot. So from Proxmox, can I just do that? Can I guess it's system control shut down? Nope. System control power off. Okay, nice. System control, power off. Okay. Shut down and remove the ISO source from the VM. Is it currently like treating it as though it's plugged in? Like there's a... Yeah, it's right here. So I guess we turn that off. Is that right? Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and do not use any media. And then let's not, come on now. Let's not forget to make a note of that. Start and go for it again. Will do. Just want to set a note when configuring the VMs. Note Debian is sourcing from the CD ISO. You need to. Okay, let's do that. Must remove the CD/DVD from hardware section in PV on the VM that after powering down. Okay. We'll start with the head node, launch that back up, and see how that goes. Okay. So I'm just SSHing back in right now. And we're going to do this. Just get root access. This. We're still sourcing from the CD, which is weird. And we still don't have the usual... Huh. Is that true of the worker node as well? It would be annoying if I had to configure sources myself from scratch. Wouldn't be too hard, but it wouldn't be fun. Yeah, we're still sourcing from the CD. With Virtual Machine Manager is the same thing. Install OS from ISO, install done, remove source and add. If you're missing the mirrors in list, I must have misconfigured something. I'm sure. I bet apt has something. I bet there is a way to seed them if they're missing via apt. Apt missing sources. See if there's some option for this. Oh, let's use the wiki. Whenever possible. And this is the new, this is now the recommended format. Sweet. Tim, you've got mod, right? Is there a way that you can make it so that Plus can share links without them being deleted? It's nice to have the links that he shares. Okay. Here's Debian.sources. Here's an example of deb822, which gives Trixie updates. If you need contrib non-free and non-free firmware components. Okay, this is what we want. Cannot post the lines here. Contains links. Look at the Discord. Ah, okay. Thanks. Okay. So from here, that's in sources list format, yeah. Source.list, so I can just drop them here. And this gives contrib, non-free, and non-free firmware. Awesome. Can I put, yeah, I can do that. And what do you have it marked as? Stable. Yeah, that'll work. I guess I have to do that in both nodes. So let's make a note of that in our notes. Oops, sorry. Sources.list wasn't populated. Added this. To both VMs. Whoops. Sweet. So we've done it here. Let's go over here, vim sources.list. Oops. Let's go back to the Discord. Grab those again. Oops. So often I fat finger these things. No worries. The generic repo will do just fine. I swear, streaming this stuff would be 10 times harder without you guys. Okay. I think the link stuff on YouTube is a bit different from Twitch. I think you got to check your settings for that and enable it, and then add a bot that denies it so me or you approve their link. Ah, okay. I'll look into that hopefully before the next stream. Where are we? We are apt updating. Much better. Thanks, guys. And let's just run that over here. And make a note. Let's go ahead and make a little bit more room. We did a little apt update -y. Oops. Okay, so is it reboot? Yeah. Now let's reboot both machines again. Reboot. Restarts for services, reboot is for the machine. Those will pop up soon, and then we should be ready for K3S. Finally, maybe. Okay, I'll be right back. I need some water. And we're back. Okay. Chair is doing a better job. Ah, come on. It is a great chair, though. I can't lie. Right. So, our machine should have rebooted by now, and we can just SSH back into them. Nice. Just pop that open. Okay. So, yes, and my head is out of the way. We're going to pop over to K3S. K3S provides an installation script that is a convenient way to install it as a service on systemd or OpenRC-based systems. Okay, so I'm happy to just copy-paste this and see what happens. Sudo not found. Okay. And it's, what is it? It's this? Yes. Okay. Sudo. Allow members of a group sudo to execute any command. No need for sudo if you are root. I read the script already. Oh, I guess I can just run as... Do I want to run as root, though? What do we think? I can set up K3S. I feel like we want to go through this process rather than run as root. It feels safer. I also want to be able to log into this user and use it for Ansible. Yeah, let's set up sudo. It's been a little while, so I'm going to need a refresher. Can I do this? Do we have, no? I don't have that installed. Okay, what do I have to do for the sudoers file? Yeah, okay, that looks members of the sudo group. Just a readme in here. Okay. Usermod ag sudo K3S. There we go. That should do it. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, definitely running a random script from the web with sudo in it makes the security discussion obsolete. Gonna have to agree with that. Nonetheless, we're gonna grab this. Oops. Jump over. Say we ran this on both machines. Okay. Something like that. Are we good to go now? Not K3S is not in the sudoers file. Right. So, do I need to just exit? Can I do a log out? That's not what I wanted to do, but whatever. I guess that'll do. Sudo apt install. We'll just do an update. Okay, sweet. So that works. We just needed to log out after adding the user to the sudoers file. Sweet. Sudo apt update. Yeah, nice. Okay, so we're sudoed up. I'm gonna keep this in our notes as well, because I don't know. I like having thorough notes. Okay, so we've got our worker, we've got our head node. Yeah, effective group changes need a new login session. That makes sense. Okay, now maybe we can do the thing. A single node server installation is a fully functional Kubernetes cluster, including all the data store, control plane, kubelet, and whatever, but you may want to do so. Okay. Container runtime components necessary to host workload pods. It is not necessary to add additional server or agent nodes, but you may want to do so to add additional capacity or redundancy to your cluster. To install additional agent nodes and add them to the cluster, run the installation script with the K3S URL and K3S token environment variables. Here's an example showing how to join. So do we have, are those provided to us here? No. Are they in this? Are they in the YAML? Oh. Okay, there's my code. I'll just regenerate these off stream later. Client certificate, client key. Are these? Okay. Do I just have these loaded in? K3S token? No, I don't. Where do I grab my token? Token. Setting the K3S URL parameter causes the installer to configure K3S as an agent instead of a server. The K3S agent will register with the K3S server listening at the supplied URL. The value to use for K3S token is stored at that on your server node. Okay. So we need to yoink that. And so what would this command look like? It would look like, so it's on 6443, and this is going to be at 10.88.111.42. Yeah, and then we grab the, there's a way, I guess I can't do that anyways. Yeah, I'll just have to grab it. Okay, so let's make a note. Host node. On the host node, we ran this guy. Worker node. Grab. We need to grab the K3S token from, and the file is /var/lib/rancher K3S server node token. Okay, awesome. And so I'm going to jump back here. That's my worker node. I want this. We're going to grab cat/var/lib/rancher K3S server node token. /var/libs. Misspelled rancher. That would do it. Okay. Sweet. There's my note. There's my token. I know I probably shouldn't be showing that off on stream, but oh well. underscore is always the last arg of the last command in bash. Makes things faster. The last argument of the last command in bash. How would I have used that in the previous interaction? What was the thing I would have expedited there? I wasn't really. I guess I like the file name for sudo cat. Oh, it's always the last arg of the last command in bash. Okay, so let's jump back and do that. So what did I do? I did cat, and then when that didn't work, I control A to the beginning of the line and type sudo. But instead, I could have done. Well, let's just see what $_ gives me. It gives me that thing. Super cool. Permission denied. Is that right? So if I do sudo cat like this, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Do I do this? Can I do this? No. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Okay. Where were we? K3S. I'm just typing out the command here before I hand it over. And it was, again, 10.88.111.42, because that's this server. And then we're going to go K3S token equals the thing from here. Yoink that. It's more useful in GNU screen where control A is a pain in the ass. Yeah, I've found like things like tmux and GNU screen do mess with some like bashisms, which is kind of annoying. But at least control A is still intact. I can't say that about everything though. There's a bunch of stuff that gets mangled. Okay, so now I've got this command set up. I can yoink it and pop over here. And let's give this a try. Okay, I didn't quite get it right. What did I do wrong? Curl s. Oh, lowercase f, I think. Wait. Let's implement what we just learned. Can I? Can I do curl -s lowercase l, and then can we do this? I don't know if that worked. I don't know what I did there, but it did not seem to work for me. Control A is the screen reserved hotkey. Ah, that's a pain. Okay, so that looks like it works. Nope, you have a pipe. Ah, okay. Makes sense. So let's take a look. Is this working? Okay, so it looks like we've got this installed. Now there's a bunch of stuff to do. This section contains instructions for installing K3S in various environments. We're good. We have different host names. We're going to go with this. We have to... Looks like we don't have that running. Unless we do? No. Speedrun level jumped. Okay. I feel like I missed a step here. Quick start guide. So we did this, including, so now we have a bunch of this. A kube config file will be written to this, and the kube control installed by K3S will automatically use it. But it seems that that has not happened, right? Because if I do kube control top, we get this, unable to read that. If I do etc rancher K3S, K3S.yaml, is it because I don't have sufficient permissions? So if I do sudo kube control top, it seems that way. The top command allows you to see the resources. This command requires metric server to be configured and working on the server. Available commands: sudo kube control node. I guess I can do, is it top node? Haha, there we go. We got something. Kube control pod. Oh, sudo kube control top pod. Okay, sweet. So we have, look at this. We have a head node and a worker node registered. We have Kubernetes. Sure thing. See you in a little bit. We have Kubernetes. We did it. What else can we do with this? Port forwarding. I do want to do, so let's try kube control taint. One or more resources. Okay, so sudo kube control no, or is there just a list? I want to list hosts, nodes, debug events, logs, describe, certificate, cluster info. Okay, we've got cluster info. We don't want to drain anything. Mark node is unschedulable. Nope. So sudo kube control cluster info. Okay, that's interesting. Congrats, thanks. Deploy commands. Oh, get documents for a resource. Cool. Get, edit, delete. Create a resource from a file. Expose, take a replication. I don't know what any of that means. Set, run a particular image. Cool. Set, explain, get, display one or many resources. Kube control get. Can I just do that? You must specify the type of resource. So node. Nice. Kube control. So we can get a type of resource to list some number of them. Cool. And then I'm just building some fluency by poking around. Sudo kube control top node will tell us again. Now I want to do sudo kube control taint because I want the head node not to be running anything other than, you know, orchestrating. Head node. At least one taint update is required. Help. Okay. So what is this? A taint consists of a key, value, and effect. As an argument here, it is expressed as a key equals value colon effect. The key must begin with a letter or number and may contain blah, 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 blah. Okay. Update node foo with a taint with key dedicated and value special user. Okay. So we don't want that dedicated. We basically want to make it not run stuff. Remove from node foo the taint with key dedicated and effect no schedule if one exists. Remove from node foo all the taints with key dedicated. So what do we want to make this kind of like a pure orchestration thing? Try run. Let's see. We're doing a little Googling on the side here. Okay, I think we just need to do :no schedule. Sudo hello. Sudo cube control taint nodes, and then we want to call K3S deb. I'm going to make this bigger. Deb13 head node. Oh, this is interesting. What else do we have? Sudo cube control describe node. K3S deb13 head node. What does that tell us about what it's up to? It's telling us a lot. Holy. That is a lot of information. That's really cool. Roles control plane master. Labels control plane equals true. Okay. Bunch of cool information here. Taints, none. So we want to do we want to add no schedule to it. So we want to go K3S dot Kubernetes.io. That's the host name. Linux node dash role control plane true. Why do I need a role for this? No execute. Okay. So we want to do it based on this label. Probably control plane. So, whoops. There we go. Okay, sudo cube control taint K3S deb13 head node. We give it the role, and then we say no schedule. The server doesn't have a resource type. K3S deb. I forgot to say nodes. Sudo cube control taint nodes. This? Okay. Now if I do sudo cube control get nodes, we have this. Sudo cube control top nodes. We're still seeing the same amount of memory usage, but maybe that's just normal. Maybe that's expected amount of memory usage for this. Okay. Well, it's working. I think that's where we're going to leave things for the most part today. Let's take some notes about what we've done. Worker node. Yeah. And then we did, on the host node, we added this. We added that taint. What exactly was it? We did this. I want to add that to my notes so I remember what I did. Let's jump back here. If from here, I should be able to do describe nodes. Yeah, sweet. And so we can jump up and see names, head node, roles, annotations, taints. This. Unschedulable as false. I'm missing something. Okay, I think this will be fine. Maybe we can look at this. K3S taint. Taints and tolerations. Taints. Node affinity. Concepts. You add a taint to a node using kube control. So this places a taint on node 1. The taint has key 1, value 1, and taint effect no schedule. This means that no pod will be able to schedule onto node 1 unless it has a matching toleration. To remove the taint added by the command above, you just do the same thing with a minus. Tolerations. So the allowed values for the effect field are no execute, no schedule, and prefer no schedule. So no schedule, no new pods will be scheduled on the tainted node unless they have a matching toleration. Pods currently running on the control on the node are not evicted. Ah, okay. So I think what we've done here is make it so that the existing stuff, the existing pods running on the head node are fine to stay, which is fine by me, but we will not be adding new ones unless they're okay on a control node. So that should be what we were looking for. I think we did it. It's somewhat underwhelming. Somewhat underwhelming. But I don't want to mess with this system too much more today. Let's take a look at what we've got so far. So we did a bunch of installation. We kept track. We basically set up VMs for the head node, set up VMs for the worker node, a VM, one each, and then we collected them together into a little Kubernetes cluster. That's really all you can ask for in one session. That's not bad at all. Maybe I'll do a quick thing. I think we can mess around with Helm charts. How does that work? Maybe we'll just do some quick reading before I sign off. The full Rancher GUI isn't that overwhelming either. Fair enough. So I am interested in playing around with Helm because I haven't before. Or download a binary. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I'm instantly underwhelmed by Helm, given that it's not installable via apt or any other Linux package manager. Like, this is very... Your options are Mac OS or Windows. I know Homebrew runs on Linux, but that just feels weird. One thing I could do, I'll save that for later. I want to have kube control available to me on my Mac, but maybe I'll deal with that another time. Yeah, because actually having to SSH into the head node kind of stinks. And I would love to not have to do that. So let's take a look at what else we can do. Get kube control ready on my Mac. So I think I just need to, well, there's a couple things. Install kube control. Configure kube config. I think is really it. So I think this is just going to be a matter of brew install kube control. And then probably grabbing some stuff, which I think I can probably SCP over, which will be kind of nice. A nice way to like test out my SCP. With a matching config file, remote kube control is no problem. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So let's hop over here. brew install kube control. I'll probably do the copy paste off screen so that I'm not showing off my tokens and things. Okay, so now I should have kube control. Sweet. And this is the head node. Yeah. Oh yeah, I should just be able to SCP this. So if I go SCP to copy it, K3S at 10.88.111.42 etc rancher K3S K3S.yaml cube config. This should just do it, no? Permission denied. I can do it as root, right? Okay, so Control A is just not going to work this time. I guess we're going to wait. No, because I have to adjust that thing. Darn. Okay. What the heck? If permit root login in SSH. Ah, you're smart. Okay. That's probably what it is. Let's test it just in case. Let's do. But it isn't. Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to do that to prove to myself before I go in. Sweet. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to, what is it? Is there like, how do I set that? Set SSH permit root login. cd.ssh? No. Etsy, Etsy SSH. Okay. Sudo vim config permit. You can do this using the permit root login directive from the sshd config man page. Permit local command. Odd that it's not in here, but I'm gonna guess I can just add it. Sudo vim sshd config. Is that what we're missing? Permit. Ah, there we go. Okay, let's take a note of that, because we also did host node. Yes, you can add it. Should do the trick. And it's in sshd config, which, so /etc/ where was it? Where were we? I'm having trouble with my words. SSH, and then I can probably do this with like a sudo sed. What's the command for that? Sudo sed, and then what's the syntax? It's so similar to Vim. I just don't remember where the file goes. Let's do it like this. TLDR sed. No, not sest. Sed. F. Okay. Execute a specific script. No. Sed -I. Old new file name. Perfect. So that means it should be sudo sed-i. This is the file name, and so we do s/. I think the old one was commented out. Permit root login. Do I need to escape this like that? In place edit, right? Permit root login, and it was prohibit password like that. And then it should be permit root login, yes. And then file name. Is that right? So do I need to escape the octo thwarp there? Let's find out. Because we should be able to do this. Let's find out. Unterminated character S has no special meaning in POSIX or PCRA regex as long as it is not the delimiter. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at what I just did. The space is a thing. Ah, okay, permit. So probably going to want this and this. Is that correct? Wow, nailed it. Okay, so it was just the spaces that were problematic there. So we're going to grab that fella. Use single quotes, better than escaping the hell out of it. I like that. Okay, so then let's do that. Nope, not single quotes. Single quotes around the substitution? Like this? So if instead I had done... Yep, okay, cool. All right, so this would work on another machine. Sweet. I want to work on my my sed game so I don't have to pop around in Vim so much, which is weird because I love using Vim, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that feels like you know what you're doing when you can do that. Okay. Anyways, so we were permitting root login. What was the problem? What were we solving? We were solving the SCP issue because we couldn't, yeah. And system control restart. Okay. System control restart SSHD. Right. I guess we changed stuff. So sudo system control restart SSHD. Let's do that over here. Sudo system control restart SSHD. Okay, great. But always keep your session open where you do this and check with a second. Okay. I guess we can also just do a quick sudo cat etc. Where's the file? It's etc ssh sshd config and then grep permit. Yes. Okay. Cool. That worked. Yeah. I've done that before. Huge pain. Okay. So this ought to work now. Did we copy that over yet? Oops. What am I looking for? I'm looking for... This is all in Proxmox? Yeah. Sweet. Oh, wait. There's a 2. There we go. Open local. Users and laundry.cube. Oh, I probably don't have... I don't have this. Does SCP have like a -p? I guess we can just find that out right now. Like this? Nope. Yeah, I guess. I was hoping there was a -p that I could do or something that like makes the directory, but what can you do? That would have been cool. Let's not run it with -p flag since I don't know if that exists or what it does. Okay. Okay, so, of course. So we copied the config. -p is for nested dirs, not file names. Cool. So we copied the config. That's good. But it's pointing to local because obviously we copied the config from the control node itself, right? That's why we're getting the local host. So we should just be able to change that real quick. I'm going to pop this over here and see if there's anything sensitive that shows up if I do that. Clear vim.cube/config. Hello? Cube/config. Okay, so server just, why don't we practice our sed skills again? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I do need to see what that looks like in the file first. So it's just server colon. Oh no, I don't, because it would just be the HTTPS. So we'd be chilling. Okay, so let's go sed -i for in place. Nice. And then we're going to go s / and we're going to take the existing thing. So it was HTTPS. I can avoid all that by just doing 127.0.0.1. And that can be replaced by 10.88.111.42. And the file kubeconfig. Oh, that's satisfying. That's good. I like that. Oops. No. Build good habits. FB. There. Cool. In theory, the dot would need to be replaced if you really mean a dot, but dot is the regex wildcard and also matches dot. Oh, you're right. I've run up against that dealing with Vim before, so I guess that worked because of exactly what you mentioned. So when we've got these in the notes, we'll just escape. Nope. Why escape them all when we can just wrap it in single quotes? Awesome. Okay. Sweet. So from here, I can do kube control get nodes. I can do kube control top nodes. Take a look at them. I think that's a good point to stop. I was a little bit underwhelmed, but then we practiced our sed skills, and that made me feel smart. That was very cool. Okay. I think I would call that a successful stream, no? We got, what did we do? Let's take stock of what we did and then call it a day. Yeah? So let's pop back over here, DB. Proxmox, what did we do? Well, we set up these two Debian 13 VMs. We got a head node and a worker node. We did some configuration of the sources because it was taking whatchamacallit. It had it strictly set to the CD as its source, which was a little weird. I've actually never seen it do that. But easy fix, largely thanks to Plus. Two nodes and K3S. In 2.5 years, or 2 to 5 years when Debian 14 comes out, you might regret the 13. I would be absolutely shocked if I don't get bored in 2 to 5 years and try some new configuration. And then what did we do? We ran update upgrade on both machines. We added K3S user to the sudoers list, or sudoers group, rather. We didn't have to do any vi sudo stuff because Debian has that included by default. We just had to do the user mod. Then we copy pasted a shell script. We grabbed our K3S token. Now, there is a cool thing we could have done. Let's say for a second, alternative route to getting the token. Okay, can we? I could have done on worker node, we could have done an SCP. We could have done an SCP. Where's my examples of SCP? Could have done SCP root at 10.88.111.42/etc/ var lib rancher K3S server node token. Where's my example of that? And put it node token. And then we could have followed that up with getting the token onto the worker. I'm trying to remember all my bash things. Okay, so we get that, and then what I could have done is the curl command, right? Curl. And then for K3S, come on now, K3S token equals, and then I could have done, I think this. I mean, on the host node, it's getting late here. If you permit root logins first on the worker. True. Yes, I would. I would have to do that first. But it's kind of an idea. It's an idea. Where did I? Oh, let's put this back over here. I think that would have been kind of cool had I done that, but I didn't. Something to think about for next time. Okay, it's 8:15. It's been a fun stream. I will catch you all another time. Plus and Tim, thank you both so much for your help. Plus, as usual, your expertise with especially with these Debian systems, has been invaluable, as always. So yeah, thanks so much for the help. It's been fun learning a little bit of like Unix foo, as it were. Getting to practice my sed and things. I guess next week, what are we up to? Next week we're maybe onto Home Assistant or Grafana. I think Grafana would be a lot more fun if we had Home Assistant running already. So we're probably going to take that route. Yeah. Okay. Bye, everyone. It's been fun. Catch you later. Or catch you next week, hopefully.